And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Come on, partner, episode 88. No good deed goes unpunished as Lady Gaga is being sued. We hear more about that. The most annoying 7-year-old you'll ever find about in this week's Dumb World Record. Michael B. Jordan is back in Creed in this week's movie review, and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. And once we get to 88 podcasts, we don't need no roads, Mike. It is the original Waffle Box, the best part of Wednesdays. It's because you accept no substitutes, and we welcome you to the show. Thanks for coming out, hanging out with us. Mike Fish, what's good, yo? Ooh, hit the post.
What?
I hit the post right as it ended.
Yeah, no, pretty good, right? Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been all right. Had a quiet weekend. Just stay home. It's been cold. Don't want to talk about weather every week when we open up the podcast, but it's a little chilly, so it's stayed snuggled up and warm. Had a few drinks. Watched Chris Rock do some stand up live on Netflix. How about yourself?
Yeah. I caught the Chris Rock concert the next day, so I didn't see any of the pre-show or the post-show, which they apparently did not bother putting up, which can't even find it on the YouTubes. I don't know where it is. I saw John Jones's return to the Octagon after a 3-year absence, and yeah, man, within the first round, he choked out a gigantic juggernaut of a man.
How is all that? Because I haven't watched.
Yeah, good
like
question.
UFC for a while.
UFC in a while. Same. The last fight I saw was Wei Lee versus Thug Rose, and I want to say that was like 4 or 5 months ago. But it was John Jones. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna miss this." So Thug Rose Namajura, if I'm saying her last name correctly, she's a sweetheart despite being a Thug Rose.
Sounds adorable.
She is actually, but John Jones came back again. Majority of the card, people I hadn't heard of, except for like Cody Garbrandt, and I want to say he won his fight as well. Otherwise, yeah. Valentina Shcherkov, Polish lady. She was the champion going in. She was not the champion leaving.
Oh,
I believe she lost her title to Alexa Grasso, young lady named Alexis. Yeah. So, entertaining show, entertaining event, packed house to the point where people are like, hey, can I sit at your table? Like, no, you can't fucking sit at my table. Like, I don't even know you. Get the fuck out of here.
You was at bar?
I was at a bar. It was packed. And I haven't seen it that packed since like maybe John Jones's actual last fight. Definitely not since like Mayweather Pacquiao. That thing was pretty crowded too.
Don't bring me back to Mayweather Pacquiao. Still have flashbacks
Great
to that.
time.
Well, maybe for you, but I was living in England at the time, and I was...
Oh, that thing was like 3 a.m. for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was stumbling home from a bar at like 6 a.m. after watching the most boring 12 rounds. Was it 12 rounds? I don't know how it works.
I want to say they went 10, but I think it was supposed to go 12. But I hear what you're saying.
It was so boring.
Well, after you've had a bunch of pints under your belt and it's 3, 4, 5 in the morning, yeah, I can see why you'd be a little fatigued. But folks over here in the States, great time.
I should have took a nap beforehand. That should have been smarter.
They print the results in the paper the next day, kid. Don't worry about it. It would have been fine.
Ever since whenever I hear John Jones, I'm just always like, boo that man, boo. He's a bad person.
He's a misguided person for sure, and the only person who seems to be able to defeat John Jones is John Jones.
Oh, that was deep.
Yeah, thank you. And what's even deeper is today is Wednesday, and so far there's been no report about John Jones in trouble with the law 4 days after his fight, 4 days after his comeback.
No hit and runs.
So that's no hit and runs, no domestic abuse, no assaults. Good job, guy. Good job.
Well done. Shout
Baby
out to
steps.
you.
Baby steps.
Um,
No pissing hot.
Yeah, that was the one when he crashed his car into a pregnant woman's car, and then he fled the scene. And then after he got over the hill, he was like, "Oh, left me drugs in the car," and he went back in to get his drugs.
Well, one time he didn't have a car accident, and he just, after beating Daniel Cormier, they piss tested him anyways, and he came up hot. And it's like, oh, oops. I think that's his only no contest. I think they stripped that victory away from him.
Good. I don't like that. I don't
He still walked away with the title, though. So, and then made DC cry the next fight. Into the next segment. We're talking too much about John Jones. I'm sorry, my guy.
Chris Rock. What did you think about Chris Rock's little performance?
Yeah, it was a fun performance. I was thinking he was going to say more about last year's slap heard around the world, but it was fine. It was a fun show. Man got his message across, and yeah, I had a few wry chuckles. What about yourself, Senior Fish?
I enjoyed it. It wasn't. I guess it was hyped up too much. It was like, oh, it's a first Netflix live comedy special, and oh my god, it's Chris Rock's first special since the Oscars. So I guess it was just hyped up to this mega event, and then it was just kind of like, it was a good Chris Rock show. That was about it. I kind of liked his weaving in of the selective outrage theme. That was pretty good. But some of the stuff was a little bit like where he spent way too long explaining how he got his daughter kicked out of school. And I was like, I guess it's a nice story, I guess.
I don't know what to tell you. But
yeah, that last 5 minutes definitely showed.
You only got a couple chuckles out of that.
Well, he was holding in that Will Smith shit and that Jada Smith. Yes. You could tell that was almost like therapy to him.
It was just right on the back of his jaw, just like, I need to talk about this, but I gotta wait 45 more minutes. Like,
yeah. That was very good, like I say, but it wasn't ha 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 ha. This is a funny joke. This was just like, ha ha ha. Oh my god, he's really going into these people. What? It's fun, and he did the drop the mic.
And did the mic drop for sure. Speaking of Netflix comedy specials, Marlon Wayans also dropped a Netflix special this weekend. Went under everybody's radar.
Doesn't he do like 5 a year?
I don't know about that. However, I do know that for the entire hour, he's only talking about Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett, and Will Smith's stanking ass. The entire hour. And it is quite funny. So
interesting. I was going to say, it sounds like a comedy roast. I also I was listening to a friend of mine was talking about their workplace, and they were talking about like team building exercises, what they could do right over Zoom, because there still was Zoom world. And I was like, what if we could do like in our teams, we could have like, the virtual happy hours that they do. And where you just sit at your laptop drinking, staring at other people drinking. It's kind of like recording Waffle Box. But they would say that they were going to do like a comedy roast where you get to roast each other, right?
Not a good idea.
But yeah, for HR reasons, it would be positive things, which isn't a roast. But
yeah, that's a whole other thing.
You need to come up with a catchy name for this positive roasting of one another, and guess what name they came up for this event?
Marshmallow Delight.
No, that would have been a much better name. They're calling it a love roast, which feels to me like something, if you typed it into the sexual. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you typed it into a certain website, I thought you'd get some very interesting videos of love roasts. Are you going to try doing it?
I am, because I am a daredevil.
Oh.
So pulling up the Googles right now. So how is the love roast going while I look this all up?
Oh, I think it was the idea was shot down pretty quickly. I don't think they're going through because that sounds horrific. That sounds like what do you know? Especially when it's in a virtual world where you never met these people. What are you gonna say? Oh well, their spelling is very good in the team chat. Like what are you gonna compliment people for?
Oh my. So top two hits on this from Cosmopolitan, January 2019. Why roasting each other is secretly making your relationship stronger. I don't believe that. Also,
Whoever
from
thinks
the
that has never
Washington.
been in a relationship, but I'm gonna make fun of you all day, and it's gonna make you love me more. I don't buy it. What's the second result?
Probably not a good idea. The Washingtonian, I don't know what that is, but February 13th, 2008, Valentine's recipe, the love roast. One pork tenderloin, 1.5 pounds, blah 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 blah. It's an actual recipe. So we're not going to number three. But there you go, the love roast. That's a terrible name.
Yeah, it does. It does sound like something you would do with a friend and a young lady you met at a bar. I guess it would technically be come under the team building exercise umbrella.
Yeah.
Just don't make eye contact. That's what I always got told. Don't make eye contact.
You'll definitely want to wear an apron too, and probably some gloves.
And some eyewear just in case.
Yeah. Don't forget the little chef's hat.
Anyway, shall we crack on with today's first story?
Crack on, buddy. Crack on.
Lady Gaga. So this was from a while back in 2021, when Lady Gaga had her two dogs stolen, right? Now.
Oh, yeah. That was a big deal. It was weird. Guy got shot over it.
Guy got shot of it. Yeah, so let me delve down this little rabbit hole and why this is a very interesting story. So basically, Lady Gaga's dog walker was walking the two dogs and they were basically stolen at gunpoint. And she offered $500,000 in reward for the dog's return. Now, this young lady, actually, I don't know of a young lady, Jennifer McBride, returned the two French bulldogs, Koji and Gustave, fantastic dog names, but she also pleaded no contest to her involvement in the robbery. What?
So she's absolutely involved. Okay.
So now she's suing Lady Gaga for the reward and other damages. Interesting. So, backstory, right? So, the dog walker Ryan Fisher was shot whilst walking the singer's dog. 3 men and 2 accomplices were charged in the shooting, robbery, and its aftermath. Jennifer McBride, who was initially charged with an accessory after the fact, was also charged with receiving stolen property. She told the police that she found the dogs and responded to an email about the reward. Interesting story so far. Unfortunately, with a slight bit of research, I don't know why for the video version, I don't know why my things have gone like this. This looks very weird. So in her lawsuit, McBride says the star announced on social media she would offer a reward for her dogs, quote, no questions asked. McBride returned the dogs to the Los Angeles police station the next day, and the suit states, believing that she received $500,000 in return. That's a fair point. No questions asked. $500,000 for the dogs. Here's dogs worth my $500,000 money. Police say, yep.
What do the police say?
Nope. If you want to chime in, my friend.
Oh, yeah. The big stipulation, whether it's written or not, is you can't be involved in the crime. No questions asked unless you get arrested and serve time for the crime. So,
always read the small print.
What do the police say? No, you don't even need the small print on this. If you're involved in the crime, you don't get the reward. But what do the police say about this?
So police say a woman called Lafayette Whaley, who was also charged as an accomplice,
Asian.
drove James Howard Jackson. Guy's got 3 names. Never trust a person with 3 names. And Jalen White around as they searched for French bulldogs. Oh, I've got to have a hobby, I guess. Jackson and White attacked Fisher, hitting and choking him before Jackson hit him with a semi-automatic gun and fired it. Jennifer McBride, was in a relationship with Jalen White's father, Harold White. And a couple was accused of helping Jalen avoid arrest, where each charged with accessory after the fact. Well, so there you go. There's the crux of it. So the person who shot the dog walker and stole the dogs, this is basically his mother-in-law, stepmother. So yeah, forgive the police for thinking, did you just find these dogs? Or did you find them at home?
Mm-hmm. They're police. They're pretty good about figuring these things out.
Like if you put those pins on the board, you only really need 2 pins, and you got it. You cracked the case.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not going down without a fight. McBride pleaded no contest in December on a charge of receiving stolen property and was sentenced to 2 years probation. The Los Angeles Times reports. Harold White. Harold White pleaded no contest and is still awaiting sentencing. Now, here's the mind-boggling stuff, right? So try to put yourself here in Jennifer McBride's brain, right? So clearly, I'm sorry.
Not a lot of room in here.
Even let's just take her side. Let's just play devil's advocate here and just say, okay, she is an innocent bystander in this crime. She was just sitting at home with her husband or a boyfriend, whatever, and then suddenly her boyfriend's son comes home with these 2 dogs. Like, aha, I just stole these dogs from Lady Gaga. Ha, 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 ha. And she's like, oh, no, that's a horrible thing to do. Oh. And she takes the dogs to the police station, right? As she's a good Samaritan. Let's just say that, right? She claims that she did not get the reward, which is fine. Despite her alleged involvement in the crime, she is suing Gaga for breach of contract. Which is there a contract? A tweet?
There's no contract. No,
I don't think there is a contract. Fraud by false promise.
No, I'm just going.
Fraud by misrepresentation.
What? Go fuck yourself.
And then she's also suing for further damages, including mental anguish, pain, suffering, and the loss of enjoyment of life as a result.
This bitch can suck all the dicks in the world one by one, very slowly and unbathed. Fuck her. The guy who got shot suffered. Not only did he get shot, but like he's got PTSD now. Like this is some dude like just wandering around like unstable and probably dangerous to society now as well. Like fuck this bitch. Oh my god, Mike, I've never been so furious at the beginning of a waffle box before. And over some goddamn dogs.
Well, dogs are very nice, but yeah, this is wow. The nerve of this woman to say that she suffered mental anguish, pain, suffering. When, like you said, let's even go with the less one. This woman, forget that she's famous, it doesn't matter. This woman had her dog stolen, which, as a dog person myself, I know what that would be horrendous. I would be losing my mind if my dog was stolen from me. But then, yeah, let's also talk about the guy that's been shot and attacked and probably is pretty much having a little bit of mental anguish, pain, and suffering. And she's just claiming all this because she didn't get money.
He's popped up in the news a few times with a couple of incidents since this, and it's
really?
very much the kind of trauma that happens when someone gets shot on La Brea Boulevard or wherever it was in Southern California. Like, fuck this person. Holy shit.
So yeah, I know. So I know she's still on probation. So I guess the lawsuit
She
or
got
the
off
legal
easy.
is done. So I don't think we can get in trouble for that. I don't know how the law works, but yeah, Jennifer McBride, you are this week's shithead of the week. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You horrible, horrible person. I'm good now. Oh, I feel like I've got something off my chest there. It's good.
I feel like drinking. I'm going to be an angry drink tonight, Mike Fish.
Pour one out. Pour one out, my friend. Speaking of music, right? Before we actually get into the next story, have I discussed with you? And I have to be careful now because this young lady, she seems okay. Never met her, but she's one of those pop stars with fans that are like insane, right? So I have to be careful, right?
Oh, Gaga's Monsters.
No, not the Gaga.
Oh, this is a different story now.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Okay.
The Swifties.
Oh my. Oh, Taylor Swift. See, you just made my day. Just like, yeah. Taylor Swift is so gangster. I love her.
Well, I don't know. Have I told you about her lyrics lately, Mr. Hayes?
Lately, I don't think so. But you have my attention.
So I may have actually mentioned something along the lines of my radio listening habits. So typically, whenever I'm in the car alone, I like to listen to the local sports talk shows, talk radio. That kind of, I like that, right? But then when my young lady is in the car, we have to listen to, the mainstream Z100, the main bullshit.
Happy life, happy life.
Indeed. So every now and again, some of the pop songs of the day are playing. And there is a song, I think it's called Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I've seen the thumbnail for it, but I haven't clicked it.
Okay. So there is some lyrics in this song, which there are lots of lyrics in this song that are very weird, right? Like there's bits where like she's talking about how like she has a dream that her daughter-in-law murders her for the money, but turns out she didn't leave her in the will, and they're all laughing about it. Also, it's kind of weird, right? But then there's this one bit which maybe I don't know if this is a pop culture reference that I'm missing or something like that, right? But there is a part where she sings, right? I had a dream where everyone were sexy babies.
Oh.
And I'm a monster on the hill. I don't know. What the fuck does that mean? Because
I don't think it literally means sexy babies. I think it's still like sexy adults. We're gonna just assume it means
like
sexy adults.
sexy as in they're being babies, like they're being you're
like
being so
Vince
petty.
Vaughn
Why are you being a baby
Swingers?
about this?
Hey, beautiful baby. Hey, beautiful baby.
Oh mate,
like that's.
It's a weird lyric.
It's a weird lyric.
Like if no one mentions anything. Everyone's like talking about it like because it's Taylor Swift.
And I'm a monster on the hill just watching.
Yeah. Like is R. Kelly ghostwriting for her now? Like that just sounds
no, but still.
But if he released that, suddenly that song's like, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah, if R. Kelly releases that lyric, it's a completely different meaning. Any Swifties in the Serb squad, holler at us at WaffleboxPod or at Mr. Mike Fish or Kush_Hayes. Tell us what the hell does this lyric mean?
I'm not buying it.
I love me some T Swift. I love me some Swifties. So
her songs are catchy as fuck. I'll give her credit. She's talented, but I'm not calling her out. I'm just saying that's a bit of a weird lyric. I don't understand it. It makes me uncomfortable when I ever hear it on the radio. But yeah, if it was R. Kelly,
you can explain it to old man Kush Hayes and old man Mike Pisces here. That would be good. We gotta change your name to Mike Pisces.
It sounds like a detective.
Yeah.
Mike Pisces is one case away from retirement. I had a dream that I was born with sexy babies, and I was pissing them from the hill. That'd be arcade version. Oh. I always have to make it weird before the break. Anyway, let's talk about kids. Let's talk about kids this week who are doing things with their lives, achieving things, and making sure their name goes down in history. In this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Why indeed? Now, this...
For those folks that are wondering why I keep looking off camera here, there's a spider on my wall, and it's gone behind... It's gone behind old Bosley here. So I'm just wondering, like, where are you now? It's a baby. It's un poquito. Un poquito.
Oh, that's all right. It won't... Maybe it's getting its mum and dad. He's distracted. He's recording. We can get him now. We can get him now.
Oh, whoa! That's my nightmare. Anyway, I hope it's not hiding in one of my lucha masks. Not that I wear them, but still, stay out of my masks.
Spiders. Anyway, so this world record, it's not so much this world record's dumb. It's not dumb. It's just kind of, again,
it's just there.
What about this kid? Right. So a 7-year-old in Louisiana. So he's actually technically attempting to break this world record today as we speak, right?
Go, kid,
so it's not technically a world record holder yet, but so he's seeking the Guinness World Record for the world's youngest baseball umpire.
Oh, he's running out of time then. Every day he doesn't complete this record, it gets a little bit further away from him.
So Lathan Williams from Hammond, known as Lathan the Kid Umpire, it's very original.
Sure.
He's managed by his parents, so apparently this umpire's got an agent, has been serving as an umpire for local baseball games since age 5, making calls at games featuring players as old as 12. Lathan, who also plays for a local little league, is scheduled to umpire a doubleheader today at Stevens Park in Gonzales. The event, sponsored by AP Baseball, will serve as Williams' official attempt at earning the record for the world's youngest baseball umpire. Now, firstly, let's get it out of the way. Good luck. I guess I hope you achieve what you're hoping for. But what? I don't want to, disparage the name of a child or insult children. But there's always a but. There's always a but. What kind of person is this guy going to grow up to? Who?
We're going to talk about him more and more. He's going to be one of those guys that we talk about. It's like, he's going on his 252nd world record, Kush. Like, what the fuck?
He'll never be David Rush. Shout out to David Rush. But
shout out David Rush.
Who at age 5, when you go to like the guidance counselor or something, what they call career counselors, whatever, I don't know. Do they even do that at age 5? I don't know. But
no.
Who at age 5 goes, hey, little Timmy or Lathan? His name is Lathan. What do you want to do when you grow up? I want to make sure everyone's following the rules correctly. Oh, what a boring kid. Seriously. You don't want to be an astronaut, a firefighter? No, I want to make sure no one's breaking the rules. I want to make sure that this game is following the official rules of Major League Baseball. Fuck me. Jesus Christ.
I'm not even playing devil's advocate here. I think it's a little more simpler than that. 5-year-olds don't have goals or aspirations or anything like that. This is this kid once upon a time watched a game with his dad, and he went, "That should have been a strike." And dad went, "You should be a baseball referee." And then they found a league that would actually like tolerate a 5-year-old behind the mound, and then that's how this whole thing started. This is dad pushing some weird twisted fantasy on his child, and maybe it just gets the kid out of the house. I don't know. However, I don't think any of this is just something this kid drove towards. Like, this is definitely parental influence.
You think it's just see like Lathan's dad just sitting in the bleachers with like a big beer belly, drinking like a Bud Light on 12 o'clock in the afternoon, to start talking to anyone that would listen. I could have been an umpire. I could have done this.
I could have been an umpire.
It's too much politics, man. I could have been an umpire.
If you're not cool, dude, I'll have my kid call your kid out. Like, I got that kind of pull around here.
Yeah, right? I know a guy.
Lathan, I am Lathan's dad.
Hey, Lathan, back me up on this. Throw him out the game.
Throw him out of the game, Lathan.
Thumbs down.
For those listening at home, I did a visual cue where I gave a thumbs down very slowly and dramatically.
Hey, Lathan. So this woman, she won't go back to my house with me. So could you just make sure her kid doesn't win? Yeah, thanks, son. What do you mean, Daddy? Oh yeah, we just wanted some private playtime. Yeah.
This is very uncool, Dad. Lathan's dad. This is very uncool. Where's Lathan's mom in all this? No es bueno.
There's no. Is there any? No, he's managed by his parents. So I guess Mummy's around.
However, I do like that he's a smoker, and I also think we're going to add he's a tobacco chewer too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's just sitting in the bleachers, just. You know what? He doesn't even have the courtesy to have the bucket or at least a cup. He's just off the side. Hopefully, no one walks under it.
What would it be in like? No, it's I reckon it's going to be like one of those. It's an old beer can that he's ripped in half.
He should do that. If he had courtesy, any sense of courtesy, he would do that. But no. He's literally sitting on the edge of the bleachers and just spitting over the side where it lands in the dirt or the grass or whatever. And again, hopefully no one walks directly under that. But yeah, that's Lathan's dad. Meanwhile, he's smoking a fucking Camel menthol,
drinking a Miller High Life. It's a champagne of beer.
Ooh. Yeah. If Lathan's dad wasn't chewing tobacco, him and me would be partying right now. I'm like, yeah, man, you smoke those Camel menthols and drink that High Life. I'm gonna drink a High Life too.
It's gonna be like a mesh shirt, like a fishnet shirt. And
too gay.
Like, no,
too gay for where we are.
You reckon?
Yes.
And I reckon he's got like a bald spot, but he's still got like some hair.
Definitely got a bald spot.
You know, like a Hulk Hogan.
Yes, like Carl. Or Hulk Hogan, yes.
And he definitely has like a star-spangled bandana that he wears around his head. You can pick.
Depends on what day it is. I'm not opposed to the star-spangled bandana. Old Kush Hayes has one back here. He's waiting for July 4th to use. Yeah, I don't know if he's wearing it at the boys' ball game.
No shirt he's ever worn has had sleeves. That's what I'm betting.
And all sweat stains under the arms. And this is my good shirt.
That's my boy. That's my boy out there.
That's my boy. Wore the good shirt.
Imagine any other players, imagine like you're a 12-year-old and you get sent out by a 5-year-old. Like, bitch.
Yeah, right.
That wasn't a strike. You can't even see.
Even pronounce ground out? What is your fucking problem, kid? Like, just push him in the dirt.
Yeah. Lathan.
Stupid baby.
And then Lathan's dad
baby
sees his son getting pushed over. And he's like, hey, don't push my boy around. And then he gets up, but he stumbles and falls over.
He falls down.
I was gonna get him.
Oh.
I was gonna get him, son. But the sun, it got me in my eye.
And scene. That was the lament of Lathan's dad.
Congratulations, Lathan. Live your dream. Live your dad's dream. Anyway,
your daddy's dream.
Still to come, it's Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan and other people in it. And also, of course,
That's factual.
With this week's Feel Good Story of the Week, plus more. But stick around after these messages. We'll be right back.
Stone Cold Steve Austin for 1-800-COLLECT.
I'm not talking to you. What did I do? You're so insensitive. Dial 0 when you called me last night. Should have dialed 1-800-COLLECT. Would have saved me a bundle. How do you think it makes me feel?
Next time I use 1-800-COLLECT, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Me neither. Dial 1-800-COLLECT or...
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back. Episode 88, Waffle Box. Still to come. We got the trap door. Creed 3 movie review and much more. But it is now the middle of the show, so it's perfect time to play the middle of the show quiz. As always, I ask Kush 5 questions. The name of the game is to get at least 3 out of 5. If not a 5 out of 5 for clean sweep. If he gets one of those questions correct, he hears this noise, which makes him happy. However, if he gets the question wrong, he hears this noise, which makes him so sad. Oh, look at that face. He's so sad. Give him a hug. This week's theme, because as you bloody well should know, Wednesday, 8th of March is International Women's Day. Shout out to all the ladies in the Syrup Squad. So this week's quiz, we're going to test Kush to see how much of an ally he is, because I'm going to quiz him on iconic women throughout history.
Are these pretty women?
All women are pretty, Kush.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
Like, thanks.
Now you need a graphic where like confetti and roses are falling on you, like, because that was, yes, you did a great job, Mike. Great job. Get on that, producer Lathan.
My son Lathan he's a producer for a podcast. I could have been a producer for a podcast, but too much politics. Too much politics. Lathan's dead. He's a character. Anyway, you ready, Kush? You ready, Kush, to be quizzed on the ladies?
Let's go.
Question 1. Question number 1. Who was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize?
Madame Curie.
Oh, he got it right. Marie Curie, or Madame Curie. She won it alongside
the lady who discovered
her husband.
radiation.
Yeah, and she later died of radiation poisoning. But
Dude,
still,
they got a movie on Amazon Prime I reviewed 3 years ago where like she's just sleeping with the isotope, and you're like, bitch, what are you doing? It's so stupid.
I'm just brushing my teeth with it. What's the worst?
They didn't know. They have radiation toothpaste cleaner. Anyway, number 2.
Question number 2. Who was the first woman to serve as U.S. state governor, or a U.S. state governor?
Oh.
It's actually a fascinating story.
It's definitely not Dianne Feinstein. Lady Governor. I feel like this is a Texas answer, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, no. Way to go, Bob.
Oh! What?
Nelly...
What? Producer Lathan, where are you on this? What?
Nelly Ross was the first. So here's the fun story. So her husband was the governor of Wyoming.
And he died.
And then the Democratic Party wanted her to take his place. So they nominated her, right? They nominated her because they had to do a re-election, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't really want to do it, but she's like, fine, I guess I'll do it. But I'm not campaigning. I'm just sitting at home. You can put my name on the ballot, but I'm not doing anything. Smart. And then she won pretty much in a landslide, and she served as governor.
Interesting.
In Wyoming.
I've heard of situations where a man who was holding some office in whatever state and city and blah 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 would pass away, and then all of the rights of his power and authority would transfer over to his wife, not the vice dude, not his assistant, not the guy he answered to, but just the wife. So I thought that's where you're going with that. But they re-elected her into office. The
people of Wyoming voted her in. Bless her, bless her, bless her.
I really like to say shit. Good.
Yeah, but she did continue on and follow in his steps. So she basically did everything he wanted her to do. Bless her.
Far out.
Question number 3. Who was the first woman to travel into outer space?
Sally Ride.
Yeah, but that was the first American woman to go into space.
Oh, wow. Oh, word. This is a Russian lady, isn't it?
It is. Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova was the first. I should have put when, but no. She was the first one. Yeah, she beat her out. But yeah. But looks, I'm just going.
That was a good question.
But it looks at the photo, it's probably about 10 years earlier than the one you're talking about. But
no, that was a good question because they don't teach us about her. Sally Ride this, Sally Ride that, Sally Ride everything. Like,
school should teach more about Russians. Name me one thing the Russians have done wrong. Anyway. I'm sure she was lovely, though. Question number 4. Which team won the first ever WNBA championship? I will allow you just to name the city. I'm not going to expect
you. Los Angeles.
Oh, it was the Houston Comets, who aren't even a thing anymore, if I remember correctly.
Oh, no!
They won the first 4 championships, first 4 seasons.
That's for you, Houston Comets. I just threw some
Shout out to New York Liberty, reigning champions. Season starts.
I've absolutely lost this.
In 10 days.
Let's have number 5 just for fun.
So support WNBA. I shall be. And just to try to get, some kind of, redemption at least. Question number 5. Who was the first woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress?
Oh, wow. I want to say Hattie McDaniels, but that's the wrong question. So, I don't know.
Is that your final answer, that you don't know?
I honestly don't know. And this is terrible because this is Oscar week. No, it's some woman I've never heard of before. It's not even Marilyn Monroe. It's not Norma Jean. It's not Fay Wray. I don't know. I accept this. I accept this loss. This was a good contest tonight, Mike. Who was it?
So the winner of the first ever Academy Award for Best Actress was Janet Gaynor in 1927 But
I
this
don't
is a
know that.
fun fact. This would be a good way if you remember this. If you put this into your brain box, this is really good trivia. Because not only was she the first woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress, but she's the only person to win the Academy Award for Best Actor or Actress for multiple roles in the same year.
Oh, so like she won the best actress and best supporting actress the same year?
No. She was awarded Best Actress for her performance in 3 different movies.
The same year?
Same year.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, they clearly got rid of that bullshit. That's dumb.
So she won Best Actress for her performance in Seventh Heaven, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, and Street Angel. All were silent movies in 1927.
Yeah. Oh.
I always wonder, like, do you reckon, like, if they go back, like, to these silent movies, and like, oh, I wonder what they sound like. I mean, these actresses, they look so beautiful and angelic in these silent movies, because obviously, you know, they're always beautiful young ladies, and I'm sure they, you know, they do the makeup on, and then you like, if you just ever go back to a time machine and go back to these times, and I'm going to interview like Janet Gaynor, this amazing silent movie star, Janet, may I have a word? And she's like, yeah, one oh Jesus, thank God it's a silent movie. Good Lord.
Well, since you brought it up, there were actually 2 movies in 2022 about the silent movie age transitioning over into sound. And that was a problem. We're like, oh my God, I actually have to like commit memory to lines now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know what I sound like? I don't sound like a Georgian debutante. I'm from Bogota, New Jersey. Okay. Like it's 2 movies. One was Babylon with it was the biggest bomb this year, unfortunately. Not a bad movie, just long and not entertaining. And then Downton Abbey 2 also this year's explored that subject. So and yes, both women just have this horrendous New Jersey accent. Like, what do you want from me? Am I supposed to just I don't even think I'm doing a proper horrible New Jersey accent, but still, like it's just like, oh my God, this is like it's nails on a chalkboard the entire time.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. If you ever watched Jersey Shore, good Lord.
9 years, but I understand like they have like 3 separate spin-offs now.
Yeah, there was one that was it Floribama Shore, where they just, I guess, merged Florida and Alabama. I don't know how that works, but
oh my goodness. Oh, well, I'm talking about with the actual the original cast still.
Oh yeah, it's like Jersey Shore, and there's like Jersey Shore, I think The Reunion, and Jersey Shore Family Vacation or some shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I tapped out after 3, but yeah, that was my guilty pleasure for a while.
I do. What's
or at least 3 seasons.
I feel bad. I should know them because they're Jersey Shore cast. What's Paulie D? I'm a big fan of DJ Paulie D. He's a
Paulie D.
He looks like someone. I'm sure after a while he would get annoying, but I would like to hang out with him for an evening. I reckon it'd be fun.
I would like to hang out with him until the cocaine comes out. But yeah, I feel like he's a fun dude to hang out with. Vinny is the quietest dude. So like him and I could just like hang out and like talk about movies and comic books or whatever. But then there's who was Sammy's boyfriend? That wasn't Vinny, was it? That was a different guy, right?
Okay, I don't know that much. I honestly don't know much.
Oh Jesus! Why don't you know this, Mike Fish? This is state law. You need to know this stuff.
I do know where the situation lives, though. I've been past his apartment.
Oh, ooh! Well, I hope you took a shower after you drove by it. Ew.
I walked by it, but yeah, I'm not going to divulge that kind of information because I know the internet's crazy and you crazy bastards.
No, we're not asking for that, Blair. Don't.
But he seems fun as well.
Don't give that up.
Anyway,
yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
Speaking of celebrities, there's too many of them. So it's time to release one into the wilderness and down the trap door for this week's trap door segment of the week. Come on, Bob. Bob. Where's the jingle, Bob?
Producer Lathan. Producer Lathan, get in here.
He's got a big game today. Your eyes on the prize here, pal. We're not paying you child labor wages for nothing. Anyway, trapdoors.
He's getting paid? I'm not getting paid.
Well, I'll just give his dad another beer. He's happy.
Oh, nice.
You're doing a great job, son. You're making me proud. This week's letter, we stumble across the letter U, which, as we discussed last week, was going to be a fun one. By the way, we are obviously working our way to the end of the alphabet, so I think we're going to have to try to find a new segment to replace this eventually in the coming couple of weeks. So, Syrup
People
Squad.
named after numbers.
Yeah, I think it's what Elon Musk's daughter, and that's about it.
Elon Musk's daughter, probably his doctor too. Tupac,
007 James Bond.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something.
7 of 9.
Producer Lathan, get on it.
Do some research, Lathan.
I'm too close to that one. Producer Lathan, get on this.
But if your lovely listeners would like to suggest anything for a new segment, hit us up, enjoywafflebox@gmail.com or at waffleboxpod on social medias. So, 4 celebrities standing over their trapdoors. Kush Hayes has to decide which trapdoor to open and send him down into oblivion. As always, he must show his working. So the 4 celebrities, which names begin with the letter U, are Usain Bolt.
Oh no.
Who's most famous for being really, really fast on the running track. Uma Thurman, most famous for killing Bill.
She did kill him.
Usher, most famous for making really sexy music, but also sometimes really weird music, like where he's like basically it's like a therapy session. He's talking about how he's cheating on his girlfriend, and then his Pete on the side is pregnant and stuff like that. It's a really specific kind of situation where like I don't relate to this, Usher. And then 4th person, Uwe Boll, most famous for making films about video games and other stuff that he did. So
normally we go down this list.
Uma Thurman, Usher, and Uwe Boll.
Normally we go down this list, and I tell you why I'm not eliminating this person, that person, or the next person. However, I'm just going to get to the meat of it. Here's why Usher is dropping. Yes, he's a great musician, fantastic dancer. He's even acted in a few movies that I'm quite fond of, such as The Faculty. However, this man has thrown his dick around so much that he's got a couple STDs that is public knowledge. And one time, he went to a strip club with a suitcase. I would like to say that thing was filled with legitimate American currency. However, much like Jack Nicholson's The Joker, it was actually filled with funny money with his face in the center. And once those bitches found out that they were getting funny money tipped, they went all in on his ass. So I'm sorry. Normally we stretch this out to like 5-6 minutes. No, Usher, you're going down the trapdoor. Adios, amigo.
Peace up.
Yeah!
Peace down. Did the strippers beat him up? Did they get violent?
I believe he was escorted out of the building and off the premises for his bullshit.
That's
but like he
balls.
came in with like a wheel, came in with a suitcase on wheels, filled with cash. Not real money though, monopoly money, funny money.
What did it?
And
How
again,
do you think that was going to end?
All the trades. Probably thought he was going to get his dick sucked, but no.
Hey, baby, want a dollar bill with my face on it?
And you'd be surprised how many women have said yes. But this one night, these bitches weren't having it. And you know what?
I can't pay for college with this money.
You can't pay for college with that money, or your kids' dental bills, or there you go. There you go. We just poured one out for Usher.
although it was a good reference over the Jack Nicholson, that might be possibly one of my most favorite lines of cinema history. What do you want?
On the dollar bill.
My face on a $1 bill. Fantastic.
So, in the novelization and in cut scenes of Tim Burton's 1989's Batman, when they're doing the whole parade and the Smilex gas, Jack Nicholson, Joker, is throwing out cash. You're supposed to see that it's actually, again, it's also funny money with Jack Nicholson's face on it. Robert Wool, he picks up like, what the hell? This isn't okay. And then he gets gassed to death or whatever happened to him. But they cut that for time reasons.
Bastards. Sorry, just for those watching the video version, I'm just adjusting my camera. I just noticed that the lines here of my ceiling were very askew. And it was confusing me.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, if you meant to line up with your ceiling, it's not. But you also can't leave Queen Elizabeth out. So I understand the framing.
Although hopefully next week I'll have a new camera in place.
Ooh, exciting.
Because I mean, the iPhone works very well as a webcam because it looks very good, but it is kind of annoying having to connect my phone every week.
Yeah, now this thing in front of me is $30. 10 years ago. This is not a new camera, and it's still 720p.
Looks like it's $30.
Oh!
Savage. I'm a savage. Anyway, peace out. Usher. Now, speaking of fighting, which in my brain is what the strippers did to Usher, it's now time for this week's. Oh, by the way, viewer's choice for the trapdoor was Yui Bowl with 83% of the vote. They don't appreciate it.
I mean, he makes a lot of bad movies, but he still gets those movies made. All right. I haven't made one movie, let alone be bad or good. Like, he's made all those movies. So Uwe Boll is going to be safe. Usher is spreading STDs and frauding women, just trying to pay the rent.
What's next week? Is it V?
TUV.
TUV, yeah. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Velma from Ghostbusters, from
Ghostbusters. Scooby-Doo. Which Velma? There are multiple Velmas now.
Oh, could you, maybe. Oh, don't want to do a spoiler, but could we eat all four of them of different versions of Velma? Oh,
I would have to. It would give me an opportunity to study for this, because much like the trapdoor segment and the middle of the show quiz, you give me no notes. You don't give me a heads up. You give me nothing. I'm doing this all off the top of my dome, and sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
This is why we're in the improv chart on the Good Pods app. Because we're two wacky improving guys.
Two wild and improving guys. Yes, it's hot American chicks. But I'm not opposed to talking Velma next week. But you let me know, Mike Fish, when we're in the show.
Speaking of movies, before we get into Kush's movie review, just a quick shout out. If you are not familiar with our YouTube page, there are some exclusives on our YouTube page right now because we are gearing up for next weekend's Oscars, and Kush has kindly reviewed, or is going to be by soon. You'll see them all on there. There's 8 up there right now. There'll be 10 eventually. Kush's review.
I actually got through all 10 this year. It was
all
hard.
10 Oscar-nominated Best Movie Awards. Some of them have been reviewed on previous Waffle Boxes, but some are exclusive to the YouTube channel. So head over to youtube.com/@WaffleboxPod. Still hate that they do that. And you can check out, there's a nice playlist with Kush's movie reviews, Oscars reviews. So you can see what Kush and I think of this year's best movie nominations. And this, as normally, if you've listened to this or watched this quite often, I have no idea what Kush is talking about because I haven't seen the movie. but there's a couple on there. Ooh, like Triangle of Sadness, everything, everywhere, at once. Where I've seen it as well, so it's actually we can actually talk about it. It's fun. So check it out. Go to the YouTube page and check out Kush's movie reviews, Oscars editions. But now let's talk about a movie that's goddamn it may win an Oscar next year. I doubt it though, because it's a Rocky movie type of thing. But who knows? It's Kush's movie review for Creed 3. Hit the music, Lathan. Lathan. For fuck's sake.
Why are we letting 6-year-olds in charge of this, Mike Fish? God damn.
Kush's movie review.
No cookies for you.
He's dead. We're going to replace him next week.
No cookies for you, Lathan.
Kush's movie review, Creed 3, starring Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to assume Sylvester Stallone. And no. Oh, well, this is
Stallone. Whoa,
bullshit. What the fuck? Lathan.
Whoa.
Sake. What? No Sylvester Stallone?
No Sylvester Stallone in this
That's
edition.
horseshit.
You know what? It actually worked out fine. However, it is weird. This is the first time it's still a Rocky franchise that doesn't have Rocky, and this was bound to happen sooner or later. Stallone is no young. He's not a young man anymore. So eventually, this gentleman is going to pass away into the afterlife.
But he didn't die at the end of Creed 2, right?
No more. He did not die in Creed 2.
Yeah.
He did not die in Creed 1. He is, as far as we know, he is living a happy life in Seattle, Washington, with his son and his family. Otherwise, very little mention of the Rocky Balboa character. In fact, I think they only mention his name once, and they try not to mention him as much as possible. And I think he comes up maybe 3 times total. But they're just like, don't worry about him. He's not here. Like you said, Mike Fish, this is Creed 3. It is PG-13. It is an entertaining 1 hour and 56 minutes. It does not feel its length. It does not need to be shorter. It does not need to be longer. I think it is a fantastic match. It is directed by its star, first-time director, Michael B. Jordan, also starring Miss Tessa Thompson, Mr. Jonathan Majors, who's in everything these days, including Ant-Man just a few weeks ago, and then, of course, Miss Felicia Rashad. This is actually one of the most original stories we've had in the new Rocky franchise, where Adonis, a ghost from Adonis's past, comes back. Spend 18 years, you just lose track of friends that get sent to the slammer, Mike Fish. I don't know how many folks you know behind bars, but unfortunately, it happens. Well, in this movie, one of those guys got out. It's Jonathan Majors, and he took the L for Michael B. Jordan, and he's a little resentful at all of Michael B. Jordan's success, Adonis Creed's success. He wants his shot at the title too, and one thing leads to another, and yeah, there's a title fight that shouldn't have happened, but it did. And then after mad disrespect, Adonis Creed has to fight his friend Damien in the ring. And yeah, Michael B. Jordan makes this a different movie for this series. It's when we get to the actual fights in the ring, slow-mo is not a big deal these days. You see him take a body punch and then all the sweat pops off his back. That's nothing new, but he does do.
And the ripples when when they do slow motion punching.
And the ripples, of course. These gentlemen have zero body fat, but sure enough, that 2% just jiggles and rolls right up their skin. But yeah, man, there's some anime themes borrowed from this, where we get to one fight where you don't get a montage. It's a pretty good fight, and then they go, yeah, that was the second round. Now we're in the 11th round. You're like, oh my god, it's only been 3 minutes. It's no montage. It's as anime as it could be. Sometimes we're seeing them box as their younger selves. Sometimes we're seeing them box within a cage that's surrounding the ring. Sometimes there's an audience there, sometimes there's no audience there. Like it's some artistically, it's really well done. The story is kept my attention. I don't think this is my favorite movie in the Rocky franchise. It's not my favorite movie in the Creed franchise. I still think that first Creed was above, and it was goddamn fantastic. Wish I had a better vocabulary at this point in the show, but I don't. Creed 1 is goddamn amazing. Creed 2 fell off a cliff hard, and it was, you could see like Stallone, who didn't want anything to do with Creed 1, now has all sorts of opinions on Creed 2, and it's very visible, and I think that's why we don't see him at all in Creed 3. And well done. This is not the best movie in the Creed trilogy, but is a big, big, big step up from what Creed 2 was. Not that that was a bad movie either. It's entertaining. It's watchable.
I
I've
like the
only seen it
Drago's
twice.
involvement in 2.
That's my biggest problem with Creed 2. We didn't need that. You want to do a story about Creed? Let's do a story about. You want to do a story about Drago? Let's do a story about Drago. Let's have a story. This is a universe with all sorts of possibilities, man. Like, we could go back and find Clubber Lang. We could go back and find Ivan Drago and go like, oh, after Ivan Drago lost Rocky 4, kind of went into exile. His wife left him. He was forced to raise a child all his own, and he's been trying to get him into the professional boxing circuit. And this is that story. Like, there was a lot of promise to Creed 2 if we were going to do that story that they didn't even bother doing. It just ended up being a grudge match between Rocky and Dolph Lundgren. And it should have been about like, oh, yeah, so my dad has only been talking about Rocky beating him up 30 years ago. And it's why I've been going this far. And it's why you and I are going to face each other in the ring now, Adonis Creed. My dad mentioned your father several times. Oh, really? I didn't get to know my dad. Blah blah blah. So now I'm going to knock you the fuck out. That's what Creed 2 should have been. It should have been a contest between Drago and Creed, and instead it was just Rocky and Dolph Lundgren. So, however, you'll be happy to hear that Drago is back in Creed 3. Not Dolph Lundgren, but Baby Drago. Baby Drago helps him out. Not like Apollo Creed helped Rocky fight Mr. T in Rocky 3, but he's there enough. It's fine. So anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed Creed 3. Is it the best? Again, not at all. But it was a big step forward, and I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
Wow. Creed 3 scores 4. Do you know what would be fun though? A good fun, like maybe like a Netflix picked it up, or an Apple TV Plus, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like a short TV miniseries.
Sure.
Would be like Rocky opponents. Where are they now?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd like just
Sure.
20-minute episodes of like Ivan Drago, what's he doing? Clubber Lang, what's he up to? Tommy Gunn, what's he up to nowadays? That'd be a really fun what?
Well, Tommy Gunn's definitely dead right now.
Yeah, probably. But I think that'd be a little
I'm confirming that for you.
Oh, he's dead? Is the actor
I
dead?
like what you're saying there. Yes. I brought this up on an episode of Sweet Science Cinema, which was a show I used to do. Maybe we still do it, but right now we're not doing it. Anyway, like, yeah, what happened to Clubber Lang? Clubber Lang just gets one loss and then just disappears.
Oh shit, he died like 10 years ago.
Scene.
Sorry.
Tommy Gunn. Yeah. Tommy Morrison.
What?
John Wayne's grandson or nephew or whatever. Anyway, yeah. That guy finally passed away from the HIV, unfortunately.
That's never good.
It was bad. In fact, it was very disappointing to hear. Like, it was right after Rocky 5, and HIV, AIDS, it's hot button topic. So like when he boy did he piss hot that day, Mike Fish. And they're like, you can never step in the ring ever again. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm a boxer. He's like, no, man, you have HIV. And then like 15 years later, he somehow got a false negative. So he just went like, I've been cured. I don't have HIV anymore. I can box professionally again. And I think some dumbass actually gave him one fight, but I don't know he won. However, he pissed hot again after that, and they did not let him in the ring ever again. And then unfortunately, he died. R.I.P. Tommy Morrison.
Damn.
Yeah, stories like that should not be on the Waffle Box. This is a show that we like to have fun on, and yeah, this has been a very disappointing episode for me emotionally.
I genuinely didn't know that he had passed away.
No, I understand.
Well,
I
son
understand.
of a gun. Well,
son of a Tommy gun. Boom.
If
That was
anything,
his character's
now
name in Rocky 5
might be a really good time to talk about a feel-good story. In this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story of the week takes us to Turkey and stars a cat.
Hard day is going on there. Okay.
I'm not a cat person, but yes, this is obviously recently Turkey has been devastated by earthquakes. But this is one of the few nice little stories that have come from it. So a viral post on social media saw a Turkish firefighter named Ali Kaskas. And he was basically there, but he was like wearing like a ski mask and things like he was not, I don't think he was very prepared for the situation. He was just like, oh shit, I need to get in there kind of thing. And he was there trying to rescue, like, obviously, I don't know exactly, he doesn't say exactly where he was, but basically he was trying to find, he was trying to save people and animals. So I don't know maybe where exactly it was, but so this one point, he finds a cat, right? And there's a picture of him walking with this cat just covered in dust and soot, obviously. It's been in an earthquake. And so, long story short, he takes his cat and goes, we have a cat, save the cat. And he puts the cat down as if to say, you're free, run away. And then he continued to go back in to try to find more survivors. And then whenever he'd come out of the rubble, that cat was sitting there waiting for him. And it would like hop back on its shoulder. And so he'd go, and then he'd go back and he'd wait. And he was like there all day. And this little cat just kept waiting for him. And then when he was like, oh, well, that's my shift over, the cat followed him home. And long story short, he has adopted that cat, and the cat won't leave his side and loves him because cats, they get a bad rep, and I'll be the first to admit from me, because normally cats are dicks, selfish little bastards. But shout out to this cat who's actually appreciative of being helped out by Ali Kaskas and now has a proud new papa. Kaskas has since taken the cat home and adopted him, naming it Enkas, which means rubble in Turkish.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
and that cat
I am a cat
has
person.
now become the official mascot of the fire department in Turkey.
Hell yeah.
Well, you're a cat person.
I love that story. I love cats. I wish we could have a cat here, but this is not a cat-friendly house, unfortunately. Unlike a dog, a cat's its own free person or free animal. It does what it wants. You might be able to teach it to like stand up on its hind legs, but other than that, it don't do anything that it doesn't want to do. You want me to go fetch that thing? No.
What's the fun in that? I want a dog to do what it's told and then love me. Not fuck
Cat
off
still
all
loves
day.
you, but nope, I want a cat that fucks off. So, yeah, this is delightful. However, this does the one thing that cats are annoying for. Like, you need to take care of an objective, like rescuing people from a burning house, and that cat's just like, "Hey, pal," and just jumps in.
Hey,
what are you doing? You want to feed me right now? Like, no, I gotta save you. Maybe you want to feed me first, though.
you want to play? Do you want to do anything?
You want to play? Huh?
Oh, I'm kind of busy right now.
Rubble. I gotta save people. I gotta be a hero. Like, no, you don't. No, hang out with me. Like, and then it starts purring your neck there. Like,
come on. They've been down there for 4 days. What's another 20 minutes? Come on. Let's eat. Let's eat. Come on. See, cats are evil.
Cats are selfish. Maybe.
Witches. What animals do they tend to have for pets? Do they tend to have dogs, or do witches tend to have kitty cats?
Me and witches are gonna get along very fine. No curses over here unless I make a witch mad, which I would never do intentionally, Madam Witches.
Also, in to be fair, maybe the fact that I'm allergic to cats, all that might impact my opinion of cats. That
helps. Yeah, I understand.
Because I swear, whenever I go around a friend's house or something and they have cats, and it's the first time the cats meet, they just the way they look, their face, they know, they're like, this motherfucker's allergic to me. I'm gonna fuck with him.
I should rub into him more.
Yeah, they are fucking dicks. But anyway, shout out to Ali Kakas and his new pet, Inkus, Bubble the cat. Hopefully we're now feeling better after I discovered someone was dead. Anyway, this week's podcast has come to an end, but never fear, there is more content. As I said, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/WaffleBoxPod, for all of, obviously, the back catalogue of our episodes, plus some exclusives, Kush's movie reviews for the Oscars Best Movies. Kush also does another podcast on the side. What have they got to look forward to?
Check me out
this weekend
on the Bosnet.family. You can check out episode 155 of the Microdose with friend of the family, Drew Angelman, and we talk about this weekend's Best Picture nominations. We go into an in-depth episode. It's about an hour long. You will have a good time. I think you'll appreciate where we come to on this decision. But yeah, TBD. Also, there's a crisis response team, Mike Fish. So I estimate how the crisis response team might come to a few situations here.
Like it.
So that's this Friday, noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Everywhere else, check your local listings. Bosnet.family.
Go to CBB Pod, Claret and Big Blue, myself and Alex Middleton talk about New York Giants and West Ham United. We're celebrating our 100th episode next Tuesday with special guest West Ham United insider, ex-WHU employee. It's going to be a fun show, our 100th live episode of Claret and Big Blue. Check that out on YouTube and Twitch. Go to CBB Pod for all those links. Follow me at Only Mike Fish. Follow him, Kush_Hayes. And until next week, take care of each other. Okay, take care of yourselves. And each other.
That's all, folks.